Here are my pre-measured melted oils. The first mistake that I made was I put an unfamiliar fragrance oil directly into my melted oils before adding the lye. I usually add the fragrance oil at the end, but I was trying a new technique with an unfamiliar fragrance oil. I don't know what I was thinking. The second thing I did is I didn't check the fragrance oil to see if it was colored, which of course in this batch it was, and you'll see it darkens my soap later on. Also, I hadn't made soap in a while, so I was very excited about making soap and very impatient. I didn't wait for my lye and oils to cool down properly. I mixed them around 99, 98. I should have probably waited until they were about 80, 85. I'm sorry, 85, 86. That might have helped my batch not accelerate it quite as fast as it did. If you'll notice here, I just basically poured the lye in, and it's already almost to a light trace here. And you'll see in just a few minutes it's going to be at a medium trace. It's going to accelerate really fast on me here. Really what I should have did at this point is poured it directly into a mold. That probably would have helped me, save me a lot of air bubbles in my soap, as you'll see later on. But I was determined to add my coloring. So here I pull out my coloring containers, and you'll see as I try to pour it in here, it's basically sludge right now. At this point I'm kind of freaking out, thinking, oh my gosh, it's accelerating so fast on me, and I'm realizing I'm going to need to spoon this in. I'm going to kind of speed it up a little bit because it did take me a little bit to spoon it in here. Here I'm adding my colorings, and I'm going to try as best as I can to mix them in. I was going for red, black, and white, and you'll see my white barely mixes at all. I think it might lighten it just a tad bit, but my soap did get a lot of discoloration from the fragrance oil. My colors are all mixed. I did notice whenever I was mixing in the colors that some soap did start to form, so there'll be like a little discoloration in my soap, of soap that didn't color. I decided to do a 3-layer spoon swirl, and I'm going to kind of speed things up a little bit as we go. Here we go. Okay, here's my finished swirl. We're going to cover this and wrap it in some towels to try to force a gel and see what happens. Here's the soap after 24 hours. So far it's not looking very pretty. Looks like we had some air holes that kind of opened up. There's a close-up view of it. My biggest fear is that I'm going to cut into this and have pockets of lye water and oil that just didn't incorporate, and the whole batch is just going to have to be thrown away. I let the soap sit in the mold for about 4 days just to make sure it was good and solid before I pulled it out. I did not find any lye pockets or oil pockets in there, so I do think the soap is going to be usable. Probably not anything you'd want to sell to a customer or anything like that, but for personal use, not too bad. I did get some air holes in there, and I don't know if you can see where the little soap formed whenever I was mixing in the coloring, so there's some discoloration there from that. I just didn't get colored all the way through. As far as the swirled pattern goes, I think it came out pretty nice, considering, you know, what I was working with. I do definitely want to try the spoon swirl again, you know, on a proper batch. but the swirl's kind of nice, how it kind of swirled in there a little bit. I thought it would swirl a little bit more, but it's probably just too thick to really make that real nice swirl action. But not too bad overall for what we had to work with. Stinky soap bloopers!